Senator Seki, Kajiado, footbridges. Let me just take this opportunity, Speaker, honorable members, to confirm that bridges is a major concern in this country. We don't have enough crossing for our children to go to school, to cross certain sections of the road, and it's a safety issue when a road which is dual with 3 lanes on either side, and children are having to cross the road and run almost 50 meters across the road because of the dual road. And therefore, bridges become very important. But more importantly, Honorable Speaker, members, we are doing a framework agreement to bring in Bailey bridges. Bailey bridges can be installed quickly. Bailey bridges are basically military design bridges for quick deployment to address the various crossings across the country. And Senator Seki, we will be deploying several bridges across the country to address crossings, address the safety of our children crossing and everybody crossing the major highways. And on the Mabasha Bridge, let me follow on that to find out completion of that particular bridge, which has delayed. Let me confirm at this stage that we've paid all the pending bills to contractors. And if there is any project that is slowed down, it's not because of pending bills and will be more harder in administrative management of the contractors to make sure that they deliver on time. And so I'll follow up on this Mabasha Bridge in Kajiado. Senator Nyotu, on Jirongo's death and whether the manifest for passengers in the bus is maintained. A manifest would normally either be captured at when passengers are loading a bus, or it would be captured through an investigative process, like in a case when an accident has happened. Was the police able to capture the manifest of those who were in the bus? I don't have the details, but let me undertake to get the details and find out whether there was a manifest. But again, that's a subject for investigation, and I think the National Police Service investigation is undertaking that, but I can find out whether there was a manifest. You know, there would be a manifest if it is a very structured public transport vehicle where people book ahead of boarding. But if it is a case where people are the kind of Matatu system, you do know that we don't have manifest before people board. But obviously there should be a manifest after the accident, depending on how investigations are being conducted. I undertake to follow up on that. Senator Chute, on the concern of Rironimau Summit, the great piece of infrastructure that we are developing for the people of Western Kenya. And I could take this together with Senator Beatrice's question on the Rironimau Summit. We did visit with the members of the National Assembly Rironimau Summit last week to see the progress of works done, and just to report and confirm that works is going on, and sometimes in August, September this year, in another 6 months, we'll open the Rironi all the way to Naivasha to traffic, having dualed to completion. Subsequently, the contractor will go down to open the 57-kilometer road, which is called A8 South. This is Rironi, Maimayu, Naivasha. Having completed the upper section, we'll go to Rironi, Maimayu, Naivasha, and work on that section, which will involve cutting the escarpment and dualing that road. And obviously, when you're having to build a road through escarpment and put in heavy breaches and the kind of work that will go on in the escarpment, certainly cost will not be like when you're building a road through a geologically well flat area. And so to basically answer that question, we'll need to see what kind of geological work in Okadugu, Burkina Faso, once we see the data has been directed by the speaker, and compare it with not the 175-kilometer road, but 232 kilometers. The road we are building, Honorable Speaker, for the information of Senator Jute, is not 175 kilometers. We are building 232 kilometers of road, because we are also building through the escarpment. But more importantly, like I said, the kind of geology will be things that we need to look at. We are very keen, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, to make sure that we don't build expensive roads, because it takes up the cost of doing business. This will be a dual road. And if a road is built expensively, and I did talk about value for money, and that is why we don't allow investors to have a return more than 10% of their equity. It can make our country an expensive destination to do business. Industrialization will not be able to attract industry, because we are not a least cost country, and therefore industry will move to other more competitive destinations. So we're very conscious. Let's see the data as directed speaker from Chute. We'll do comparative, and if there are lessons to be learned, that will be great. So Rironi is going on well, and on the section from Mau Summit all the way to the border in Malava and going through Kisumu to the other side, we've got funding from AIIB. This is Asia Infrastructure Investment Fund. We've got some funding, some donor, some fund. What do you call it? We've got some donor funding to do feasibility study, which is currently ongoing. It is a grant. It is a grant from Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank to do the study on that section of the corridor, and that is currently going on. Road accidents, as a national disaster, there's so much that we need to do, and we are doing that. Like I've mentioned, we are franchising motor vehicle inspections. We have to do a lot in automating and employing technology in our roads. The kind of things we are doing in instant fine or junction cameras that are currently being implemented by Kura, to ensure that we do support drivers to ensure that they don't fall asleep while driving, that they don't the minor infractions are managed using employing technology and so on and so forth. But it is a debate we need to have to see whether it's time to declare road accidents a national disaster. But there's so much that we can still do. Honorable Speaker, I think I want to, that's about the questions I captured for now. I thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable CS. Honorable members, you know matters runs elicit a lot of attention in this house according to my experience. But we have a few other members who would like to ask supplementary questions. We take very brief time, and also the CS will, you know, the CS is also generous with information. It's giving detailed information to members. So we start with Senator Orekina Rendamo. Just one supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine will be very brief. And the CS, let me appreciate you for your diligence in responding to queries. I have raised this matter with you, but this morning when the residents of Narok heard that you are coming, it flooded my phone with messages. And I'm just going to read the message, the question, so that I can be brief. Given that the Narok Sekenani Road, C12, was engineered as a low-volume sealed road, LVSR, specifically to boost tourism, what measures is the ministry taking to enforce strict axle load limits and prevent its rapid destruction by heavy industrial vehicles, such as those carrying sand and construction material, which exceed its design capacity? Specifically, Mr. Speaker, there's a company called Gavin Holding Limited from Kisumu, which is currently transporting hundreds of truckloads of sand at a capacity of 32,000 kilograms. And this road is completely dilapidated, making it very difficult for even tourists to be able to get to the Masai Mara. So, Mr. Speaker, I'd like that question specifically answered and action taken to stop this heavy trafficking of those roads, in that road.
Senator Abbas Sheikh.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, first I want to thank the Waziri. And I want to ask, Waziri, there's this road which was so much publicized in this country. And Kenyans look forward to see the road from Solo to Wajir Mandera done. And as been promised, and guys have even formed musics for that road, calling beautiful names. The road actually is moving at a very slow pace. That is actually even worrying us that this road might not be completed in time, or maybe in the near future. I wanted to know, too, the road is being done in patches. And when it rains, like this time now it rained. And you know, that's the only lifeline that we have, the road we have to Mandera. The roads are becoming impassable almost. So, for one, what is the time frame, and what is the alternative pathway for those vehicles ferrying food and items to various towns in northern Kenya? And when will the road be? At least, what is the hope that we are going to get road will be completed in time? What the most thing worrying is the food transport and the materials for transport.
Abbas, the CS got your message.
Thank you.
Your supplementary question. Senator Sifuna Idmi.
Waziri, you are aware of the problems that are facing the people of Nairobi during the current rains. One of the major roads that floods and brings the entire city to a standstill is Mombasa Road. Waziri, there was 9 billion shillings that was given for the repair of that road after the construction of the expressway. We want to know, are there any plans to redesign Mombasa Road, the old Mombasa Road, to upgrade the drainage system on that road and all the other national highways in Nairobi so that we avoid that flooding? Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
Well, Senator Fatuma Duro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Waziri, I wanted to ask that most of the roads in our counties are Maram roads. And every year during the rainy seasons, those roads are washed away. Do you have structured mechanisms where on a yearly basis that you are able to maintain those roads? I thank you.
Senator Okongo Mogeni.
Yes, I wanted to ask Waziri, last time he was here, Mr. Speaker, sir, he promised to erect bumps on Chebirate Nyansiongo Metamayo Road that has been prone to many accidents. Since the time he was here, we have had 2 more fatal accidents, and he had promised that the government was considering expanding that road by dwelling it because of the topography of that area. Could Waziri tell us what progress he has made towards fulfilling the promise that he made when he last appeared before the House? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you can answer those supplementary questions.
Thank you again, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members. Olekina, I had a short meeting session with him yesterday, and we discussed this concern on Narok-Sekanani Road. It's a big piece of infrastructure servicing the Mara, where we pride ourselves as a country as the 8th wonder of the world with respect to the wild beast migration. And the Narok-Sekanani Road should not be in that state in which it is at the moment. We are looking at the contractor who is currently doing the periodic maintenance on the road like we agreed. But more importantly, we have scheduled an upgrading of this particular road immediately through a reseal of the entire road so that we don't do patching, and more importantly, address the concern of the axle loads on this particular road. I will be picking up with Kena, particularly this particular cabin holding investor in Kisumu, who is tracking at overweights, but more importantly to address that not just because of the one transporter. We will look at the need, once we upgrade this road, on putting a weighbridge to support the kind of weights that can be taken by this road. Because obviously the tourist kind of transport system don't have the kind of weights that we've designed for the road. And therefore tourism and the transportation of people into the Masai Mara is not the challenge. The challenge are the transporters who are ferrying building materials, sand, all the way into Kisumu. I was asking, I thought there's enough sand in Kisumu. Why are we ferrying sand from Masai Mara to Kisumu? And but we'll take up that. The concern of Mheshimiwa Sifuna, Senator Sifuna, yes, we have a major contractor picking up JKIA Road, JKIA to ABC Place. We are redesigning, we're running a beautification program on this particular road, which will address all the drainages. It's a major project that has just started. In fact, it just started in the last 2 weeks. Let me confirm. There is a contractor, CRBC, a major contractor in this country, who are undertaking major works on this particular road, including beautification of this particular road, lighting, beautiful gardens, but more importantly, drainages that can offtake the amount of water. One of the reasons why we basically were aligned towards CRBC is because a lot of the drained water coming from the expressway and being taken by the lower, the underpass, which has not been improved and cannot offtake the amount of water, is for CRBC to, and of course the services within the road. This is going to be a quick project. It will be finished within the next 4 to 6 months, and we'll see a very beautiful highway, not just beautiful, drainages being addressed, lighting, modern lighting, all the way from JKIA to ABC Place, and we'll see that in a short while. The contractor has just started work, and we expect to see completion within 6 months, and that way we should not expect the challenge that we saw in Mombasa Road with the short rains. Senator Dulo, on structured mechanism to maintain our roads, you do know that the bill is before, the amendments is before Senate on Section 6 and Section 47 of the Kenya Roads Board Act, which has a structured mechanism for maintenance of road through RDLF, or Roads Maintenance Levy. It's a levy that we collect about 70, 80 billion every year. And with devolved roads and the requirements of Schedule 4 of the Constitution, the courts did give direction to make good the fact that devolution resources follow devolved functions, and therefore the bill is before this House to ensure that the county roads do get a share of the RMLF for maintenance of roads, and equally, yes, we have a structured mechanism through that fund. Obviously, we'll need more as the infrastructure grows, and we'll continue to work together. One of the initiatives which is being taken, will be taken by the National Infrastructure Fund, is to remove the national highways from this maintenance levy. National highways can maintain themselves through their own generated revenues through concessioning, and that money that has been held by Kena on the national trunk network can go more into the rural roads for maintenance. So those are some of the initiatives where we see more money coming to support this structured mechanism for maintaining our roads. Senator Mugeni Ogongo, bumps, I need to follow up this. There is no reason why we have not done. That is the easiest ask, and we should have finished with that. I'll follow up. But on the Chebilat Nyasiongo, that has been programmed for widening, because that is a very narrow section, and like many other areas, including the Mosoriot we talked about with Senator Chirchir, or rather in Chirchir's question, we need to widen that corridor and reduce the accidents. On Abbas' question on Wajir Isiolo, let me confirm that the programs on Isiolo, Kulamawe, going all the way through to Ramo Mandera, we have contractors in all the sections except Samata, Modogashi Samata, and of course Ramo to Mandera. Those were under annuity. Those two sections of the infrastructure, about 143 kilometers, were under annuity. But the annuity cost was very high. The bid price we got was about 60 billion for those two P sections. We then pulled out of annuity, and that has taken time, but we've successfully terminated annuity, and we have agreed with World Bank to take over those two pieces of sections, and we'll be constructing for about 26 billion compared to the 66 billion that could have been deployed on annuity. So World Bank has taken off those particular piece of roads. There'll be a board meeting, I'm told, on 27th of this month, and we do expect that before we come to Wajir for the celebrations of Madaraka Day in 1st of June, we should have contractors in all the segments of the roads from Isiolo to Mandera. So we are on top of this. It's a great development coming into the region, together with social and economic investments along the corridor. And of course, the cost of security that we are deploying to support the contractors in that corridor means we have to do it very quickly, because not to have contractors in certain sections, whereas we've deployed a 7 billion budget to support security over the construction time, means it will be very expensive to construct that piece of infrastructure. So I want to assure the House, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Abbas, that we are working on the shortest possible time to basically deliver this infrastructure, because it's expensive, from security to the fact that World Bank is supporting us. I don't think funding is a challenge. Most of the sections have just started. So you could see, to construct roads in that section, we build camps, which are built with bunkers. And Abbas will know that a constructor site is in a bunker for security. So that gets very expensive. But a lot of work is being done. We have monthly meetings with my colleague from Interior and my colleague from Defense to address security issues, because the interplay between even the government of where the contractors mostly come from is something that they keep cautioning us and questioning us every so often as to whether their contractors are safe. But I want to assure the House that we are on top of this, and by 1st of June, when we go for celebration of Madaraka Day in Wajir Town or Wajir County, there'll be contractors in those two pieces of sections that don't have contractors, and therefore accelerate the whole piece of infrastructure to completion. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Who is out of order now, Senator Mamen Chute? No, before I said Senator Sifuna had a question on Mombasa Road, which I think is not satisfied with it. I give him 1 minute. Honorable members who have been on this question, one question form was 2 hours now. So we must really move out of this.
Thank you for that indulgence, Speaker. The CS Chirchir knows that I have a lot of respect for him, but that answer that he has given today has fallen short in two material respects. The people of Nairobi are telling me, Honorable CS, that it is not the lack of flowers on Mombasa Road that is causing them to sleep on the road. It is the flooding. So please, before you address issues of beautification and streetlights, we want a solid plan on how to drain water on Mombasa Road. And secondly, Honorable Speaker, he has not addressed himself to the question of the 9 billion that had already been given to the previous contractor, who we were told, Speaker, is a company associated with one member of parliament here. We want to be told he was given a tender to repair the damage that was done. Honorable Speaker, the damage that was done during construction of the expressway, there was money that was allocated for that, and it has not been done. So he has not addressed that, and he needs to prioritize drainage over flowers.
Senator Sifuna, you know, once the CS gives commitment, like he said, within 4 months you will see those developments done. He said so. You know, that is why I'm here to listen to all the details. You have a commitment between 4 to 6 months, the road will be done, good drainage, beautification, and all those things. He committed himself to do that. And the Secretariat have captured that commitment. So after 4 months, we will be able to raise. Like here, there are commitments for July, which I'll be asking before he leaves, what happened to those commitments. So I want to close this matter now. Senator Lemaretian. A very simple question, straight to the point, within 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would just like to get a clarification for the residents of Samburu County and its neighboring counties on what is the status of the Maralal-Baragoi highway that was being constructed, and when is the work on the ground supposed to begin? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ojenda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had a short follow-up question to the CS Rhodes, who has answered or responded to more questions in detail. CS, you have referred, and in your response, you have stated that the construction work for the part of Coptic Road that caused the fatal accident, the Coptic area crash road, there's already a plan to pave, to repair, and to reconstruct. I also note that you have also said that the other problematic area, the black spot area of Molem, Nambaokana, Nyamasari, and Kasagam Road are also under consideration. CS, just confirm to me the time frame. The time frame. When will this work start? Because as things stand now, that area is a danger, in itself a danger. What the roads people have done in the Coptic area black spot is itself a danger, and we may witness another accident before the works begin. Thank you.
Well, Senators, once you are given time to execute a supplementary question, you should stick to one shot, just one. Senator Orekina.
Thank you, Speaker. Cabinet Secretary, people are watching in Narok, and I just wanted to know whether it's possible, and they appreciate what your response, whether it's possible to send a mobile weighbridge to that road immediately, so that we can try and save at least that road for the high season coming in. We know you spent 3 billion shillings to build that road. We don't want to see the 3 billion go to waste. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Medu, you know, this is like you are making like you are not sure whether to ask this question because you have just pressed the system.
Mr. Speaker, I was very certain that I want to ask this question, unless the popping up has just happened on your screen now. I think I've been since I came, and mine is also very straight and short, precisely on two roads that the CS is very well aware of. The road from now Wanjohi going to Kinangop, and the road from Mairuinya to Shamata and Kariamu. And the reason why I know the CS is well aware about is because, and my question is specific. Why is it that every time the president visits Nyandarua, he visits Kinangop and visits Daragwa, the contractor comes back on site? When he leaves, Mr. Speaker, I know you are very, very, just relax, Senator Jaragai. I'm just about to finish, Speaker.
Point of order?
I raise under Standing Order 51B. A question shall not be made on the pretext for debate. That is part A, 3A, and, Mr. Speaker, B of include the name of a person, nor any expression not strictly necessary to render the request intelligible, and also on supplementary question, it must be attached to the root question. I appreciate our brother just walked in. It must on the safety of the road. Is it in good faith, or is it in order for the Senator of Nyandarua to try and ask question that is relevant and introduce a debate, Mr. Speaker, and bringing the president into the mix? He can do those politics on the corridors of streets.
Senator Medu, you know, if you're asking a question on that road safety, don't introduce other names of members of the public who cannot be able to come to this floor. So don't take advantage of your presence here to mention other names. That will not be allowed.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Then let me work on the, you know, some people here get very agitated when we speak about the president.
We have no people in this house. We have honorable senators.
Okay, some honorable senators get very agitated when we mention the president. I mean, he's the president of Kenya. If he doesn't want to be mentioned, he has other duties
You
that
have
he
no
can
question to ask?
undertake. So my question on safety, Mr. Speaker, and I don't know why this Senator Jaragai keeps disturbing people. Why don't you allow us to speak? I've been given the floor. You shall get an opportunity to speak. Just keep quiet and allow us to speak.
Why are you addressing Senator Chalgei?
Because he's the only one who is
Who
disturbing
gave you
me.
the floor?
It is you who gave me the floor.
Then why are you addressing Chalgei?
Why are you allowing
address
him to shout at me?
No. Now you are
Okay.
degenerating this house into a showdown, which I can't allow you to do that.
Okay. Why don't he allow me to ask my question? My question is on safety. So, Mr. Speaker, the question I was asking, whether he's aware that out of the nature of that road, especially the section between Mairuinya to Shamata, we have had countless number of accidents because you see, the contractors leave they come to site and then they leave, and they leave the road in very, very, very bad, in a more state than they even found it. And so therefore, we keep getting our vehicles, many accidents happen out of that negligence of the contractors. That is my question.
So, CS, just respond to those few questions and then we close this session.
The question from Mheshimiwa Sena on Maralal Baragoi, let me confirm, Honorable Speaker, members, that we did procure a contractor for
Senator
Maralal.
Chute, you cannot interrupt the CS. Yeah, you wait until he finishes.
We did procure a contractor for Maralal to Suyani towards Baragoi for 20 kilometers of pitmen, upgrading to pitmen, and equally for Kisima, Sura Aduru, on this other lower side for upgrading of 20 kilometers. Work should have started in earnest because this road was equally launched, and I will follow up to make sure that work has started. But yes, we have a contractor on these two pieces of infrastructure from Maralal towards Baragoi, 30 kilometers to Suyani, and 20 kilometers from Kisima to Sura Aduru, upgrading equally 20 kilometers. That will give a very good look to Maralal town, because you'll have 30 kilometers towards Baragoi on the upper side, and you'll have another 20 kilometers addition to the current tarmac that reaches Kisima today. With respect to Tom Agenda's question, time frame, before, Honorable Speaker, before Tom Agenda came to the House, I undertook that the designs have been completed and we are going to make budgetary accommodation for that section in the current financial year, and thereafter procure a contractor to correct and build the design that we have already done. With respect to Kinangop, we do know that I did mention equally that before Senator Fonyandarwa came into the House, I had indicated that we've paid all the pending bills to contractors. We had a big challenge, and without paying those contractors, and we owed them up to 175 billion. And if they abandon work, it was upon us to provide the funding. We've now made requisite funding. We've gotten them back to work, and they don't have any excuse for abandoning work. So this particular infrastructure, Mailikumi, Subuku, Sipalas, Shamata, all the way to these Shamata girls and so on and so forth, with that contractor, Boyman, Basenga, and all these infrastructures, particularly the ones funded by CDB, will not slow down. We'll ensure that the contractors stay on course, because as we speak today, there is no contractor who we owe money, and therefore we'll be strict to make sure that if it is a capacity of the contractor, we'll call them out. But if it is a question of funding, we have paid them, and we've made plans to continue supporting the contractors as they give us certificate for works done. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I want to thank you. Regarding Olekina's question on providing a mobile weighbridge, like I said, this is a piece of infrastructure. Weighbridges have only traditionally been more on national trunk networks with Kenya. We are having programs to bring in mobile weighbridge for Kera roads. It's a Kenya road. So we'll undertake to provide a mobile weighbridge to support that infrastructure. I want to undertake that. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. And thank you, members.
Honorable says our new member here is not being recognized by the system. So you can use the dispatch to ask your question. It's very fast from Baringo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and Honorable CS. I've risen to inquire a question about the road from Laikipia, Churo, all the way to Loruk and Marigat. And it also connects people from Kabedo, Chemalingot going to Nakuru. Mr. Speaker, last year, there have been a water increment in Lake Baringo, and it has totally swallowed the road from Loruk to Nakuru. And this year again, the situation is worsening, Mr. CS. And I want to know whether the ministry is aware about the situation, because currently people are using private land for transportation. And anytime, the owner of the land may refuse his land to be used, and will be totally on mess. So, Mr. CS, I want to know whether your ministry is aware, and if so, what are the measures you've taken to ensure that the situation is bring to normality? Thank you.
Yes, CS.
Thank you, Speaker. I'll need to check. I don't know whether is the Luruk Marigat within the. This is the road from. Is it Parpelo to Sigor? Thank you, Speaker. We're building a number of pieces of infrastructure to support the road coming out of West Pokot through Kitale to Eldoret and down to Nakuru, and To that extent, there is the road from Parpelo to Sigor Marich Pass, which will come through the lower section. I do know that we have the Marigat, Muchongoi, Karandini. I need to check, but more importantly, the question from Senator Chemitei is of concern even to us because some of our roads are underwater, and not just because of the rising lakes. And so we are designing the road and having to move it way up because of the climate change issues and the fact that those of us who visit that particular region would really pay attention to climate change issues to the extent that a number of the tourist hotels are underwater today. Equally, the road, sections of the road are underwater. So we're designing roads as a matter of urgency, way above the water levels, and trying to understand what we all need to do as a country to address this question of rising lakes. And so I want to assure the House, I want to assure Mheshimiwa Chemitei that we will work on that. I want to pay more attention on where the design is today and how we are going to quickly support to relocate the redesigned road and provide funding to ensure that the people for this particular region do have access to markets and people can move to their homes. I thank you.
So, Honorable CS, before you leave, there were 3 commitments that were copied to your ministry. I understand the Secretariat shared this information with the ministry. Whether maybe you have something to say about them. One was from Senator Mwihaji Faki, which was to follow up with the Kenya Urban Loans Authority to provide an explanation on the steps being taken by Kura to address the flooding issues affecting the section of the rings loaned in Mombasa County near Quickmart Supermarket. The other one is to furnish Senator Okongo Mogeni with information on whether the Kenya Railways Corporation commenced the construction of the Riruta Ngong single track meter gauge railway before obtaining an environmental impact assessment license from the National Environment Management Authority. And the last one was from Senator Mohamed Abbas, who sought information on the actions the government is taking to fast-track the construction of the, this is the same question he was asking Mondogashe, Samatal, and the Ramu Mandela sections of the Great North Road. Since you answered this supplementary question from Senator Abbas, maybe you can comment on the 2 from Mwihaji Faki and Senator Okongo Omugeni.
Thank you again, Speaker. Thank you, members. I did make a commitment to provide a response on the question, like you've said, Honorable Speaker, regarding the Quickmart Supermarket in Mombasa area, Link Road, which had been a source of perennial flooding because of the geographical locationing of that particular area in terms of being the lowest point, and the fact that investors did build both sides of the road and there was no waterway for the water to drain to the lower points of the rivers. Speaker, I do have a written response. I have signed it. Let me very quickly respond that the flooding section of the Link Road near Quickmart Supermarket in Mombasa was designed and elevated to elevate the 200-meter road section to provide for the carriage and walkway. I do have the response, including the pictures. That we've fully constructed the area. There is no flooding today. I want to confirm I did visit that particular section 3 weeks ago, and it's a beautiful piece of completed work with paved walkway already done, including rehabilitation of the Quickmart section, culvert installation, sinking of new vertical drain, 5 in number, desilting of existing vertical drains, pothole repair and patching and performance-based maintenance already signed up. We did spend 54 million Kenya shillings to do that work, and the place is looking good today, and the member will be aware that with the short range that we have just witnessed, the place was a good motorable section. I will, if I have not already tabled, I will table the response for that particular commitment. The second commitment I did make with respect to Senator Abbas' question on Ramu, Samata, what do you call, Modogashe, Samata, and Ramu Mandera, the last section of the corridor at Mandera. I've really answered this this morning in the course of engagements, but the government of Kenya had initially planned to upgrade the Modogashe-Hapaswen Road section under the Road Annuity Program, like I said earlier, as Lot 3 within the public-private partnership framework. The Lot 3 project included 68-kilometer Class A road from Modogashe-Hapaswen extending to Samata, as well as 75-kilometer Mandera-Ramu. The contract for upgrading of Lot 3 project was awarded to HAS Consortium GVR Infra in joint venture with Shandong High Speed Nile Investment Company. However, due to cost-related challenges, the government of Kenya decided to scrap the road annuity program, leading to termination of the contract for Lot 3 road project. As a result, the government is now shifting to engineering, procurement, construction, financing mode for upgrading of this particular Lot 3 section. In addition, through the National Treasury, the government of Kenya has requested additional funding from the World Bank under the Horn of Africa Gateway Project loan to upgrade the Lot 3 road project. This includes the only two unfunded section of Isiolo Mandera Road corridor, of which Modogashe-Hapaswen section forms part. The delay in completing the upgrade of Modogashe-Hapaswen Road section is due to the challenges experienced in terminating the contract with the engaged annuity contractor, HAS Consortium, for Lot 3 annuity project, which required legal intervention and the delay in securing funds to compensate the terminated contractor due to budgetary constraint. That has now been done, and in addition, World Bank has taken up those two sections, like I did mention earlier. The short-term strategies, the government is consistent in maintenance of the existing roads through the road maintenance levy. This is through construction of engineered gravel road, as well as undertaking routine maintenance, spot improvements, and so on and so forth. But as soon as we bring on the contractor, we'll make sure we do equally maintenance ahead of works. It's a long, detailed response, Mr. Speaker, and I do have the written response which I've signed, and I will table it before the House. Yes. On the final one, regarding whether we did build the rerouter, let me just very quickly open this. There was that question 93 that I also undertook to bring a response, and the question was the current progress of works on the rerouter Ngong railway line construction. Mr. Speaker, the transport sector is recognized as a key pillar and critical enabler in achieving Vision 2030 long-term development strategy and bottom-up economic transformation. Development of efficient transport system in rural and urban areas is therefore a key factor in supporting the country's development strategies. The government of Kenya, through Kenya Railway Corporation, conducted a feasibility study that resulted in the development of Nairobi Commuter Master Plan 2019. The master plan identified key commuter line corridors for development modernization within Nairobi metropolitan area. That include Nairobi Kikuyu Limuru, which is existing, Nairobi Riruta Thika, which is also existing, Nairobi Lukenya Gitapot proposed, Nairobi Embakasi Village existing, and Nairobi Riruta Ngong under implementation, which is the concern that the member raised under question 109. Reruta Ngong Road commuter line, which will be linked to the revitalized Nairobi Railway Station, is also one of the commuter lines identified as critical transport infrastructure under the prioritized integrated transport system for decongestion of Nairobi metropolitan area. The rationale behind the preference of the commuter rail over road transport, that commuter rail is for mass transportation, where one commuter train carries up to 6,600 passengers, both standing and sitting, which is equivalent to 460 14-seater matatus off the road. I wish to indicate that for this particular project, the source of funding for the project is purely Government of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, as regard environmental social impact assessment study, the same was conducted in line with Environmental Management and Coordination Act. I've also attached to my response, which I'll sign and table and deposit before the House. I also wish to add that the project is being implemented under the EPC or engineering procurement construction basis with an independent consultancy for design review and construction supervision in place. Because again, Speaker, members have got a comprehensive written response, let me beg to confirm that yes, we had a court case which has now been lifted and work will therefore progress. I thank you.
Okay, CS. That response is sufficient. We will table with the table office. So, Honorable Senators, that is the end of the session with the CS loans and transportation. Thank you, CS, and your team for again continuously appearing before the Senate, and you have really covered all your supplementary questions with that utmost precision. And even though you are not even prepared for the questions, you are able to know where the rules are and the status of those rules. So thank you very much indeed. All the best as you serve this good country of ours. So, yeah, that's okay, CS. You are free now to... Sergeant Adams, you can collect the documents from the CS. Thank you, Waziri. So, Honorable Senators, we now go to the next one.
Order number 8, motion, mainstreaming of a framework for clean cooking in Kenya.
Senator Aminda Kibwana is not in the House, so that business is deferred. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, report of the proceedings of the Artificial Intelligence Conference on the role of Parliament in shaping the future of responsible AI, held from 28th to 30th November 2025 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
I also, on this order, Senator Henok Wabua is not in the House, so the order is deferred.
Order number 10, motion, report of the Third Commonwealth Parliamentarians with Disabilities Africa Region Conference held in Lusaka, Zambia from 24th to 28th February 2025.
Senator George Wambua has dedicated this business to the Chair Liba, Senator Mulgo Julius. So go ahead and move the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Commonwealth Parliamentarians with Disabilities Africa Region Conference held at Ciela Resort and Spa in Lusaka, Zambia, 24th to 28th February 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the motion
that the Senate notes the report of the Commonwealth.
Can I remind you, I'm the one on the seat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Madam Speaker. Parliamentarians with Disabilities Africa Region Conference held in Lusaka, Zambia from 24 to 28th February 2025, laid on the table of Senate on 7th August 2025. Madam Speaker, the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association was founded in 1911 and in international community of Commonwealth parliaments and legislature working together to deepen the Commonwealth commitment to the highest standards of democratic governance and parliamentary practice. It offers parliamentarians and parliamentary staff the avenue of collaborative on the issue of mutual interest and share good practices. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association represents more than 180 parliaments and legislatures, 53 Commonwealth countries divided up between 9 geographic regions of Commonwealth, that is Africa, Asia, Australia, British Islands, and Mediterranean, Canadian, Caribbean, Americas, and Atlantic, India, Pacific, Southeast Asia. The Commonwealth Parliamentary with Disabilities was established 2018 and is one of the networks within the CPA that facilitates activities and programs to champion and increase the representation of persons with disabilities in Commonwealth parliaments and works towards mainstreaming of disability considerations in all CPA activities and programs. The CPWD Africa Region Network has held 3 conferences since its inception in 2018. The 3rd Commonwealth Parliamentarians with Disabilities Africa Region Conference was held 24th to 28th February 2025 in Lusaka, Zambia, under the theme Breaking Barriers, Building Inclusive Parliaments for Persons with Disabilities. Kenyan delegation was represented by Timothy Wanyonyi, MP, leader of the delegation, and PWD Africa regional champion, Honorable Rose Muso, MP, Senator Crystal Asige, MP, Senator George Mbugwa, MP. The members of parliament were accompanied by the following officers: Mr. Polycarp Matara, Engineer Mutunga Mike. The first one was Clerk Assistant 2, and the second one, the Engineer Clerk Assembly, Engineer Maintenance Officer, and National Assembly. Delegates at the PW Region Conference discussed wide range of topics represented by the resource persons who shared their insights and knowledge include technology, digitalization, and its use of empowerment and inclusion. of persons with disabilities in Africa, African context by Dr. Margaret Matonya from Zambia. Accessibility in action, designing physical spaces for inclusive parliamentary by Mr. Ibrahim Asante from Ghana. Policy pathway, effective strategies for implementation, disability inclusion in parliament by Mr. Meshak Matumba from Zambia. Culture and shifts changing in attitude towards disability in political institutions by Honorable Joseph Musanje, MP, Zambia. Resolutions to the Third Commonwealth Parliamentarians with Disability Africa region. Madam Speaker, after the deliberation of the main topics of the conference, the delegates adopted the following: recognizing the fundamental human rights and freedoms of all persons, including persons with disabilities, acknowledging the valuable contributions of persons with disability, expressing concerns that persons with disability continue to encounter barriers hindering their effective participation in parliaments in the Commonwealth Africa regions. Emphasizing the critical need for inclusive and accessible parliaments for persons with disabilities, welcoming the progress made by some parliaments in African region, advancing the inclusion of persons with disability, reiterating the commitment of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association to promoting and governance democracy and human rights, including the rights of persons with disabilities. The conference resolved, one, technology, digitalization, and the use of empowerment and inclusion of persons with disabilities in African context. One, to encourage Africa parliaments to leverage the technology and digitalization to empower and include persons with disabilities. To urge the African parliaments to undertake comprehensive capacity building programs to equip parliaments and staff with skills and knowledge necessary for effective utilization of assistance technologies and accessible digital platforms. Three, further urge African governments to collaborate with organizations of persons with disabilities, technology experts to prioritize the development and implementation of imperfectful digital inclusion strategies. Four, furthermore, urge African governments to include disability mainstream discussions. And topic two, accessibility in action, digitizing physical spaces for inclusive parliaments. Advise African parliaments to other the universal design principles in construction and renovation of parliamentary buildings, ensuring physical accessibility of all persons with disabilities. To further advance African parliaments to regularly conduct accessibility audits to productive identify and address barriers within the physical environment. Urge African governments to undertake the meaningful consultations with persons with disabilities. 3 policy pathway, effective strategies for implementing the disability inclusion of parliament. Encourage African parliaments to develop and implement comprehensive disability inclusion policies and action plans aligned with CRPD, articulating clear goals, targets, and measurable indications for monitoring progress. Further, encourage African parliaments to ensure that disability inclusion policies encompasses all facts of parliamentary work. Urge African parliaments to allocate adequate financial resources to ensure the effective implementation of disability inclusion policies. Culture shift, changing attitude towards disability in political institutions. Advise African parliaments to implement awareness campaigns and training programs to combat stigma and negative attitude towards persons with disabilities. Encourage African governments to promote inclusive that showcases the contribution and capabilities of persons with disability. Urge African parliaments to actively champion disability rights. Further, urge African parliaments to enact legislation that promotes inclusiveness of persons with disability. General resolution, the CPA African Region Secretariat, in collaboration with CPA headquarters, shall continue to support and facilitate the work of CPWD Network Africa Region, providing necessary resources and technology assistance to parliaments and implementing these resolutions. African parliaments shall resort to the regional secretariat on the progress of the implementation of these resolutions. The CPA African Region Secretariat shall include segment for members to report back on the implementation of the resolutions for the previous conference. The CPA Secretariat shall circulate proposed topics of the next conference to members to effect emerging issues, and at least 1 month before the next conference for approval. This conference calls upon the Commonwealth parliaments in Africa region to fully implement these resolutions and actively contribute towards building a genuinely inclusive parliament for persons with disabilities. These resolutions were unanimously adopted on 27th February 2025 by the third conference of Commonwealth parliamentarians with disability African region held in Lusaka, Zambia. Madam Speaker, I beg to move and request Senator Chirchir to support. To second, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator West Pokot. Senator Chirchir to second.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and congratulations for being elected as a temporary speaker for today's session.